kind of looks like we're about to shoot an adult video.
Are we not?
That wasn't going to be my intro. We could just do that if you want. We can bin off this idea of doing a tour cast and just have intercourse. But I think this is going to ruin the tour.
I don't want to do
We decided that whilst we're on the road for the next 3 months, we might as well do some kind of weekly get-together where we talk about the goings-on and what it's like to be a touring crew. Because obviously it's just us.
It's just us.
It's
just two guys
sharing a bed. So for the next few months, we're going to be coming at you from plenty of different cities around the world as we tour the world. And starting in
Atlanta, Georgia.
That's not where we are. We're in North Carolina, which we're not.
I said that
an entire day in a different state.
I said that with so much confidence.
Such confidence. Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia. No, we're in North Carolina. We're not playing a show here. So if you're from North Carolina and you're confused as to why we're here and not playing a show, it's because the US is such a monumentally large place that you have to stop in different states in order for the driver to be able to take you place to place safely.
Yes, it's very different to the UK where you can just like pop up the country.
Yeah.
For the day. Here it's like, I saw a map the other day that was Don't look at me like that.
I
saw a map the other day.
Congrats.
No, I saw it was like the state of Georgia overlaid on the UK and Europe, and it was like 5-6 times the size of the whole thing.
Yeah, and supposedly where we're ending in Texas as well, that's bigger than the UK, which is why you're able to play so many shows in these kinds of states, because we're doing 3 shows in Texas, which we'll maybe be seeing you in a few weeks.
It's nice that you've got this whole thing for yourself. Yeah. You've got this kind of position going.
What do you mean position?
Well, I don't know. It's just
we're in bed.
You've got this whole thing. You haven't moved from that position.
Yeah, it's a comfortable position.
I'm putting up the cameras and getting everything ready. You're sat like this, just staring at me.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I have no idea where this is going to go or what kind of content this is going to become. I'm down.
Ever since Ola left, the HR has just gone to shit. Genuinely.
So we've been dotting about North Carolina today, not Atlanta, Georgia. Although you really wish we were there. And
potato, tomato.
Potato, tomato. I may have made a slight error in judgment. Look, when you're traveling the world and you only have room for essentially a suitcase, because there's, how many do we have with us? I think there's 10 people and then the bus driver, so 11 people on a single-decker bus. So there's only so much storage. You can't really bring more than 1 suitcase, which means that you can't bring too many pairs of clothes out here. And so the idea is that a lot of us today wanted to find a thrift store in Charlotte, North Carolina.
A lot of us being you getting very antsy while we're having a lovely lunch and you're just kind of, guys, I'd love to just go. No, when you're done, I'd love to go.
You say this about me. You say I am the least patient man.
Yeah, because you are. You are. God, I'm gonna get my wages cut.
Yes.
No, you're very patient because you're like, yeah, just like when you get a minute. But then once you have the idea of something in your head of like what you want to do, which in this case was thrifting, you were kind of like, you were there and you were just, I can see it in you.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like,
I don't do it physically. Do I do it physically?
Like you get a bit twitchy, and I can tell that like you're very done with the situation. You're like, you're ready to go. And so you're like, so we should go to the thrift store. Like you are ready, you're locked and loaded, ready to go. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like,
I wonder where that comes from, because I don't feel like I'm that way in real life, but when I'm touring, I feel like it comes out of me more.
I think it probably comes from, no, because you're the type of person who wants to make the most of the day. Even when we work together, like when we're in Brighton and stuff, you like to break up the day but do lots of different things. But you flip between them.
I think I used to always really struggle with the idea of if I'm doing more, I would always struggle with doing more than one big thing a day. So it's like, if I'm recording a video, that's my day. It's like 4 p.m. I do that. So I would find it, when I was streaming, I used to find it really difficult to do anything during the day if I knew I had a stream that evening. So I think now it kind of manifests itself in a way of like, force myself, go do the thing, and it maybe kind of physically agitates me a little bit if we don't go, you know? So I have to be like, come on guys, I really want to go.
I think it's also, you're like, you like to lead the situation. You like to be the one who's like, okay guys, let's go and do this.
I get a lot of satisfaction when I come up with an idea to do something and it's enjoyed. Like when we in Atlanta, Georgia, when I did the whole Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, little food court ordeal, because we'd done it the day before, and I was like, I know everyone will love that. And I know I kind of like kept repeating it to different people. I was like, wow, I did such a good job kind of like putting this together for everyone, didn't I? Really, it's kind of crazy that.
See, I'm the opposite to that. So I went on a holiday last year and like was the absolute opposite. The person I went with was like a very spreadsheet oriented person.
Yes.
Made the spreadsheets, did the whole thing, like made a map and was like, here are all the different spots we're gonna go to, and like had like a list of bakeries and a list of like things to do and places to go and walk and trams to go on, like all this stuff. And they were like, what do you want to do when we're in Portugal? And I was like, I'd like to drink a beer and go on a run. I did both of those things on day one and was like, well, so I just followed them around, and it was like,
I guess my problem is I like to be in control of those kinds of situations, but I'm not type A enough, which leads to the problem we had this evening. Well, not this evening, today, which is that I decided I wanted to go thrifting, but we're in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm sorry, if you're from Charlotte, North Carolina, you feel free to disagree with me. I went onto Google, and I looked up best thrift store North Carolina, Charlotte. I swear to God, first of all, some came up that looked absolutely horrendous. Like they were so far away, horrible quality, or not horrible quality, but just didn't look like the vibe at all. And I wanted to look like for like a fucking. Last time I came to the US, it was like markets where it was like loads of different vendors that would have just their own stuff, and it would be all kinds of different price ranges, and some stuff which is like really cheap, and some stuff which is like more like hand picked and whatever. It reminded me of Brighton, the like South Lane, the North Lanes of Brighton. And so I thought in the US that would just be everywhere, and so I can't see any. And then I see an article being like the best thrift store in Charlotte, North Carolina.
James was like, guys, we're going to this thrift store, blah blah blah. He's like, we'll split an Uber. We're all gonna go to the thrift store. And he's kind of like, he's hyped us all up. He's like, who's coming with me? Show of hands. And like everyone's like, yeah, I'll come. Like, you physically got us to do a show of hands. It's like, cool.
I did actually do
that. And so we're just like next to the train tracks. Just everyone's like, woo, I'll go. And then you're like, okay, cool. I'm calling an Uber. So we get in this Uber, and we go out of town. We're driving along, and I'm like, this is going to be great. I'm going to get some great clothes. And then the Uber just pulls up into like an industrial estate on the edge of town where they're just scrapping cars. and like we all get out, and I'm just like, I go to the Uber driver. I'm like, hey, is there a thrift store around here? And he just goes, just sucks his teeth and then just drives off.
We get out of this Uber, there is a literal small poo. That is the only thing. Now, okay, we're not naming the thrift store that we ended up going to. It is obviously a name associated with what you would only imagine. You would see the name and go, this is a clothing store. Now, what I hadn't realized is that I had not put a the before the name of this place. Because it easily could have been, it's like the Facebook meme. I didn't put the in Uber, so it went to which was a truck factory.
It was just...
Which happened to be northeast of Charlotte. What are you thinking, either one of those, to set up an associated business within a 20-minute drive of another place with the exact same name that does the opposite fucking thing? We had to wait 15 minutes by a literal human poo as these demolished cars were getting driven. Oh.
It was like... It was a time.
And we should have gone home. We should have at that point looked at the place on Google. Because
No. Hang on.
Stupidly.
You were like... Because you did this the other day. You're like, we're going to a coffee shop. We walked to the coffee shop and it's closed. And you're like, oh, it's closed. I'm like, did you look on Google and like, did you check if it was closed? And you're just like, no, I don't check that.
I do usually check that. What I hadn't confirmed in my head was the cultural difference, where in the UK on Sundays everything's open till like 3 p.m. We kind of go like, okay, 3 p.m. you had your chance, get out. You know what I mean?
The Lord's Day.
It is the Lord's Day. Well, this is the thing, it's the Lord's Day. And in Atlanta, Georgia, bro, it's the Lord's Day. It's like no one is doing anything on the Lord's Day in Atlanta, Georgia, to the point where we were struggling to find anywhere that would sell coffee. Like, the supermarkets were open, but they were very few and far between in downtown Atlanta. And then we got to that one coffee place that was just like cooking breakfast for the devil, and it was just so smoky, and you have to go in and order at the bar, and it took about 20 minutes for someone to emerge from the smoke and the fog for us to get a coffee.
We're paying out our first couple of days as being bad, but
it's been wonderful.
It
has been.
You're saying that with sarcasm. It has been good. We've been all the boys are back together.
Yeah. Not all the boys. We're missing a few of the boys.
We're missing a few of the boys. That's true.
But we have had a lovely time.
Some of the boys are back together.
Some of the boys are back together, and it has been a wonderful time. We played a show in Atlanta, Georgia, which was wonderful, and also not the place we're currently in.
Yes.
I have been able to express my sheer adoration for Trader Joe's and Whole Foods to everyone around me. Trader Joe's, I know it's all stuff they just like buy separately and label with their own things, but the snack choices they have, the peanut butter cups, being able to share that and impart that love onto other people from the United Kingdom has been wonderful. And we're only on what, day 3? Well, we're on day 3 right now.
You're on day 3, and you're also on visit 3 of Trader Joe's.
That is a crazy thing.
Yeah. You're a real pop to the shops kind of guy. You know?
I'm a lover of a pop to the shops.
Yeah. But the thing is that you're also just like Mary Poppins, just pulling fucking shit out your bag, where it's just like, anyone want a dark chocolate peanut butter cup, and it just like emerges from a branded Trader Joe's tote, and you're just like, anyone for a sweet treat?
I like giving people a sweet treat, especially because I do the least amount of work on this tour, which sounds kind of backwards. It's a tour with my name on it, but it's kind of, in the best way possible, it's all kind of geared around to make my life as easy as possible. So, and your kind of main priority is to be there with me for that journey to document it, because if you don't know, Kiwi, whilst also shooting the YouTube videos that we do now, you also do the concert photography, and you aid me with content while we're out here, and you look really sad right now. there going,
Well, you know, I was just sat there thinking, I was like, fuck, I had a proper job before this.
wow, the fish counter. Gotta take me
Yeah, I
back.
used to fillet fish, and now I do this. I mean, you know, it's better.
You were saying you've been clocked now for working with me or like your presence online. How has that felt?
It feel like it's cool. It's cool. It's really cool. And everyone who kind of follows you, they're all very sweet. And
Yeah.
they're all very like extremely supportive of you, which is it's a very I don't know, it's interesting. I've worked with so many artists like doing this job, like because I'm a music photographer, I suppose.
Yeah.
Music photographer, music content
That's how
person.
I met you originally.
Was through doing that. And
Yeah.
then obviously I've worked with a bunch of different artists, and there's no audience that I know who operate in the same way, who just support you, like support the artist so much.
And seemingly everything around me. So it's
Yeah.
like there's so much kind of support for the boys that play in the band, for you. I remember even Rob, who doesn't like to be on camera too much, he kind of likes to be more of like a background character. He sent me a tweet being like, who's your James Marriott crew bias? Mine is Rob. And he sent me that tweet going, what does this mean? Is this a bad thing?
What is a bias?
What is a bias?
My bias is also Rob.
My bias is Rob. Yeah, my bias is Rob. All
yeah,
things
he's
considered.
wearing those open-toed sandals today. It was
He
really.
was.
it's
Yeah,
really-
no, I kind of like it was
Yeah, we
kind
all-
of first thing I saw in the morning. I was just staring into the eyes of toes. You know, you got dapped up by a 9-year-old at Target.
I got dapped up by a 9-year-old at the back of Target. We're like flying between these subjects, by the way. It's crazy.
That's
we're
fun, though.
just bouncing around. I went to Target because what this is like. I feel like we're talking about tour stuff. People aren't going to understand the situation of like a rider or whatever anything is. So I'll super briefly summarize.
You have 15 seconds.
Okay, an artist like asks for stuff when they get into a venue to accommodate them. So it'll be like, I want some bottles of water, and you like melon and pineapple for your voice, and then the crew
And for my cum.
So to save money in America, I've been going to Target and collecting the rider because we're a baller on a budget. You know?
So it's cheaper that way. Essentially,
Yeah.
is what you're saying. It's a little bit more work for you, but it essentially means we get more for less amount of money. Everyone eats a bit better. Like the sandwich materials having in the bus is just an absolute lifesaver for a lot of people because it's expensive to tour in America. For me, I mean, I've been open about this before online. There are certain tours where I will make money. There are certain tours which you kind of do. In the long term, the idea is, yeah, you'll make money from kind of promoting your music more somewhere else. But in America, it's very much at the beginning stages where it's like, we're doing the shows we're doing. I mean, when we go to Utah, we're doing 200 cap venue. When you're putting on a show and there's 11 crew members and a bus and, you know, all the things you need to run a show, 200 tickets doesn't pay for that. So it's kind of like you are essentially working at a loss, but still building a community in all of these amazing places, which for me, absolutely worth it. But it does mean you do have to have these moments of like, how do you budget in those situations? Which is how you've ended up
going and buying the rider.
buying the rider and dapping up a 9-year-old at Target.
I'm sure to like other crews and stuff, they'll be like, why don't you just ask for the rider and stuff? But it's like, if you go to a corner shop and, you know, near the venue and everyone buys the rider, it might cost you $150. Whereas like, I went to Target and got everything that we could possibly need for like 2 days of food for like $50.
$63.
You asked for oat milk and
Which,
that,
by the way, is a perfectly normal thing to ask for.
yeah, but it was also, you know, I had everything. You were like $50 tops. $51 I spent. I also had to buy locks, and then for the bus, because the bus just didn't have any locks on it. And then I'm going out there. James asked for one additional thing.
Yeah.
There was a few bits in there already for you, which was oat milk, and it was the one thing I forgot. And I was like, if I go back and I've not got this fuck ass oat milk, he's just gonna go,
Well, back you go.
yeah, that is fucking back to the fucking purgatory of Target.
Little trip to the shops once again.
And I'm stood outside with all my shopping bags like laden, you know, in the hot Georgian sun,
Mm.
and just a little kid comes up, silently daps me up,
Yeah.
walks off, and
It's crazy. I feel like there's maybe something about Atlanta, Georgia, where everyone is really talkative and really forthcoming. It's like in the UK we don't necessarily compliment strangers that often. It's like
you don't talk to anyone.
no.
Like on the tube,
You might talk to a barista every now and then and go, "I like your shoes," or they might say that to you. That's the kind of way I said it. It's like there's that kind of like in the service industry, you kind of cross a barrier a
you're
little
like, what
bit.
coffee do you want?
Yeah,
You
say
know?
less. You know,
What coffee do you want? I'd like a flat white.
I'd like a Rods. I'd like a Rods.
Sponsored by Rods.
No, I wish we could have the Rods marketing budget. But in Atlanta, in one day, I had 3 separate pieces of my clothing complimented by 3 different people. What a wonderful experience that was. Someone saying nice pants to me. No one has ever said those 2 words to me before because I'm British and no one says nice pants unless they're talking about my underwear.
That is true. Josh Kaplan got complimented. Jono got complimented.
Jono got complimented on what?
I don't even know. I think it was his shirt, maybe? Or maybe that was Josh's one. Josh definitely got complimented on his Bring Me the Horizon shirt.
Crazy.
Jono got complimented about it. Basically, everyone was getting compliments. I'm just out there
Getting dapped up by 9-year-olds.
getting dapped up by 9-year-olds and asked for cigarettes. It's like every time I pull out a cigarette to just have like a small moment to myself, there just some guy will come over and be like, "You got one of those spare for me?" And I'm like, "Oh."
Someone asked for a toke of one of your cigarettes.
Yeah, a little suck of my
That was
cigarette.
unusual and looked
Yeah.
genuinely offended when you went. You got to turn around and went, no, this is mine.
I don't know. I felt bad. I don't know what he's doing. I
Yeah,
don't know what he's been.
Bless him, man.
Who he's been kissing.
yeah, for sure. I mean, at that point, and then the guy today, you turned to him and went, "Can you roll?" And he went, "No." And so you were like sat down trying to eat lunch. You're like, okay, just rolling this random man a cigarette.
I don't know. I mean,
And then you notice he walked off. He had a lighter. He just like immediately walked up and was like,
that this man came over to us today, and I can only describe his conversation as talking in like all caps. He's like, "Hey, how are you doing today?" He was just yelling at us.
As he left, I was like, that is one of the most unusual experiences of my life because we spoke to this man for like 20 minutes. I was scared the entire time. And not one word he said was anything other than like just a nice conversation. But because he was speaking the entire conversation in caps locks, it was terrifying. And he was pointing a lot. You know what I mean? He was like pointing at us a lot and saying, there was only one thing he said, which I was kind of like, oh, that's a bit out of nowhere, which is where he claimed that 9/11 occurred in Boston.
Yeah.
Which, as far as I'm...
He was saying some things. He was talking to Jono about Michael Jackson for a bit.
I was not there for that.
Yeah, you started. I don't know if you went on your phone or you just didn't want to be there anymore, so you just went to your mind palace. But Jono was talking to him about Michael Jackson. I just started going on my phone because I was a little bit just. It was really hot. I was a bit overwhelmed, so I'm like, I'm just gonna go on my phone and look at my emails because we're getting a lot of emails. And then I kind of zoned back into the conversation, and him and Jono were having a debate as to who's better, Michael Jackson or the Beatles. And they're and then talking about lawsuits and all this stuff, and Jono's just chucking coal on the fire with this man. He's just giving.
Jono does that though. Anytime I see him engage in a conversation with a stranger about that kind of 5 to 10 second mark where I tap out, he's going for 5 to 10 minutes. It's almost like, when you're a kid and you're with your mum, right? And you're walking down the street, your mum bumps into an old friend, and they're yapping.
Oh, and you're there.
And you're just there
yeah,
come on.
So I remember I used to stand next to my mum in the supermarket. She would chat to her friends and stuff, but I got punched in the head in a toilet when I went on a family holiday to
Yeah.
a national park,
Yep, cool.
and it made me afraid of going to the toilet. So, like I'd just be stood there, my mom would be yapping, and like I've got a child-sized bladder anyway, but I was a child at this time, so it's tiny. So I'm just stood there, just about to piss my pants the whole time because I was just scared to go in the toilet.
Yeah.
Grew out of it though. Grew out of it.
That's it. That's it.
I don't know. I'm not very good at this podcasting. I think
You are good.
I think I've just shared a trauma that I.
No, but that's an important thing to share. Everyone likes to see things you're struggling with. It's kind of a.
Well, no, I'm not. Like it's not.
I used to piss the bed. I pissed the bed quite a lot as a kid and as a teenager. I'll throw that out there. I used to think it was a sign of high IQ. I've had that proved wrong to me multiple times now.
Especially today when you took us to the wrong thrift
When
shop.
I took us to the wrong thrift store. But I believe I have a good natural compass. I believe I also just don't read Google Maps as much because I quite rarely wear my glasses while I'm on tour. So I don't read as much. I don't notice things in text as much because my eyesight's not very good. I actually see this online a lot. People say, why don't I wear my glasses more? I don't like wearing my glasses on stage because they steam up. But if I wear my glasses a lot on a show day and then take them off for the show, I suddenly get really tired and lose kind of touch with the world. So I have this now thing of like whenever I'm touring, I just never really wear glasses. And I'm kind of like, I've got astigmatism, so everything's just slightly off.
Oh, that's crazy. I got that as well.
Really?
What eye you got it in?
What did you say?
What eye have you got it in?
I thought you were just mumbling about having astigmatism. Yeah, I thought you were just like, I've got it in both eyes.
Class.
Yeah, no, it's not class. It's pretty bad.
Class.
It's pretty bad.
I got it in one eye. So I got one good eye and one bad eye. My
Which
good
is
eye,
the good eye?
I think this is... Wait, hang on.
Yeah, no.
Whatever the one I look through the camera with is the good eye, which I believe is my left. I can't really do it with... Yeah, it's the left eye. The left eye's the good one. The right eye's the naughty one.
Naughty eye.
Naughty eye.
I have a question for you about touring because you tour a lot.
Mm-hmm.
This is the longest tour I've ever done to this point. Well, I mean, we're one show in, so that's not true. But by the end of this year, doing 47 shows, essentially back to back, we have 2 weeks off in the middle, is the longest tour I will have. Is there anything in your kind of months where you've gone away about the UK specifically that you've really missed?
Oh, that is a good question. Actually, the biggest thing is going and getting a really small, pretentious little coffee from a shop. You can kind of like, in London and Brighton, we're so lucky that you can kind of go to like
anywhere,
a plethora of places, and you get like a little small pretentious coffee that you pay a little bit too much for, and you have it, and you're just like, look, you know.
And sometimes you find like a certain kinship with certain cities when there is that feeling to them as well. I think that's why Melbourne, I quite easily find myself at home feeling in Melbourne, because you can go on a walk in Melbourne and walk past, like 20 pretentious coffee places and feel somewhat at home, which is like I don't know, it's a interesting thing that kind of coffee for me, and as you've said, it kind of feels like a slice of home. I would say the other things for me is like...
Oh yeah, I didn't even ask it back.
No, I think it's fine. I think I love a roast on a Sunday. That's the thing, is like, we as a band or as a crew, we always make a point of like when we have those weeks off and we're home, we go for a roast. Like we had a roast before coming here. We're going to have a roast when we go back. We'll probably try and have a roast on the road, and when we're in the UK, because we're doing the UK for 3 weeks, we will have the chance at some point, I hope. But it's weird. I kind of like this US run of a month and 19 shows will actually be the longest tour I've done to date. And then we are doing the one straight after, which is even slightly longer.
That's crazy, because I feel like the Are We There Yet tour, that felt like forever.
It was 3 weeks.
I think that's maybe because I just that was like me really getting to know you and all the boys. It just felt like felt like it went on for like months.
I think also
I came off the I actually hadn't gone home I'd gone.
I remember this.
That was my last.
Because you weren't at the first show, you met us at the second show.
Yeah, because I went on tour with like one band, and then I went on tour with Bombay Bicycle Club, and I went on tour with you, but I didn't go home. I just went one to the next to the next.
Bam, bam,
so
bam.
I was out for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I was just at the end. I was just absolutely losing my mind.
And also, it's hard to tour in January. We do, the Are We There Yet tour was in January, and I got acute pneumonia. I've never spoken about this really. I got acute pneumonia from moving from hot to cold environments, which is something you never even think about. But we played in, I believe, Manchester, where in order to walk to the stage, you are outside in January at 9 p.m. in your stage clothes, and then immediately you're on stage, and all of a sudden it's like 30 degrees, sweaty, hot, running around stage for like X amount of time, and then you're back out in the cold again. That can fuck your lungs, and that's what happened. And I remember playing Leeds the next day. I think it was the next day, and it was I remember it was like the worst feeling I've had in my adult life, in my career, kind of knowing and doing so much that day to try and recover my voice, but my lungs had just given up on me because they were just battered from the weather change. That I had to go on stage, and by the time I knew I wasn't going to be able to sing that night, people were already in the venue, and I was like, I can't, now that people are in the venue, I can't turn around to them and be like, no, the show's not happening, because it's almost like, at the time as well, my management was quite a loose concept. It was like, my manager was Australian, and that kind of live side of the music was kind of more my role. I kind of self-managed in that sense. And so there was no one above me to be like, don't do it. So there was all this pressure I was putting on myself.
There also was like, we were kind of like, no, like, you can do it. Just have a really good rest. Because like, we wanted to, as the crew, if you're having doubts, it's like, it's not our job, but it's part of our roles as like your friends to surround you with that positivity. However, I don't think we knew the extent of how fucked your lungs were. Essentially, it was kind of like, because you weren't talking and you kind of just were like, I'm not feeling very well.
Yeah.
And you were like, I'm just gonna have a day where I don't really speak, and then we'll do the show. We were kind of like, it's okay, like you'll be fine, you'll do it, you'll have a good rest today, and you'll be fine. And then you went and did the show, and it was just like,
bro, I couldn't speak. I couldn't sing out of my chest voice.
Yeah.
So I did a whole show in falsetto, and I remember there's like clips of the show and people going like, I remember one of them did quite well because it was like, you don't need to sing, and like everyone else singing the song. It was like a really beautiful thing, but obviously for me at the time, I was devastated. And I came off the stage and I was just in tears immediately. And to this day, anyone who went to that show and has told me they went to that show, I have made a point of saying, like, I'm so sorry that happened. And, like, next time I do a big headline show in Leeds, that won't happen and I'll come back stronger or whatever. And everyone's always like, oh no, it was really special. Like, it's like a really unique show because we had to, like, support you and it was, like, really special. And then we did the signing in Leeds. For the Don't Tell the Talk like signing tour,
yeah.
And this one dude was like, "Yeah, it was shit." It's like, you better not pull that shit again. And I was like, everyone's just been like gassing me up, like, no, it was actually like it was a really special time. And then one buzz was like, "Yeah, mate, that was a waste of money." I was like, I rated the fact that he still came to the signing tour just to tell me that, like, you gotta do better than that.
You came off stage and you just like, you cried your eyes out, like proper, like you were like really crying your eyes out because you were so upset that,
yeah,
because you like, you kept repeating it, saying that you'd let everyone down.
Yeah.
And like from my perspective, like I did think it was special, and like the crowd gave you a lot and they lifted you up, and it was like, it was for me as like someone capturing it, it was like a really beautiful thing that I haven't seen before, really.
You know what it is, though? What is such a unique feeling that I've never had before in my life is I remember exactly what it felt like walking off the stage and seeing every single member of the crew looking at me in the exact same way, which was, And it's just like, oh, fuck, that sucks. Of like, everyone, it's not just in your head. You know when sometimes you say something and you think, oh, that's gone down badly, or no one's going to like what I just said, and then it's just all in your head. So the whole time in the show, I'm like, I'm putting in an absolute, like, horror show right now. And then you, like, walk off stage and you're given all of the looks from people as, like, yeah, that wasn't fantastic, was it? And so I think all of that came together. Everyone meant it in a nice way. They meant it in, like, that wasn't that bad. Like, kind of like, obviously it wasn't ideal. You went out, you tried. Yeah. And I think that's, like, you went out and you tried. And that's all that's going to matter to people, apart from that one dude who said it was shit. And I think that's like, I don't know, it's tough. It's a really tough feeling to have. And it's kind of the big fear as a vocalist. It's like when you're going out and doing these like long tours, it's like, okay, this one's got a 3-day run and I've got to make sure I look after my voice enough in this three-day run. Otherwise I'm going to have another Leeds.
But I also, to your benefit, since then, like, which is what now? We're coming up on like almost 2 years since that point. Almost year and a half.
It is. No, it's almost 3 years.
When did we do the AWTY tour? That was
last January, wasn't it?
That was last January. Almost 2 years. You have made significant improvements to your life.
That's what started it. That's what started it.
To like,
because I remember
be a healthier little guy.
You can't do a tour like that and not try and build your health, because you can't be living in a bunk for 3 weeks with a bunch of other sweaty men and live to survive that unless you are sincerely looking after your body.
Well, we all live quite, like, things have changed. Like, we all live quite differently to that, and that wasn't long ago.
No,
but I think everyone's fueling it this time.
Everyone's fueling it, and as soon as more and more people in the crew start to do it, and everyone sees like, I remember we did Australia, December last year, and I was exercising every single day, and I did the whole tour, and it was like a breeze. I remember feeling like, wow, I feel like I still have all of my energy, even though with jet lag involved. It's like, if you really push yourself in that sense and kind of keep your body in a healthy place, then you can make it through the whole tour and feel absolutely fine, which, touch wood.
There's an entire wall.
Yeah. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I mean, got through Australia, completely fine. Everyone was super happy the whole time. Not a single thing went wrong, really, like, at all.
Did something go wrong in Australia that I'm completely forgetting about?
No. Well, not for you. I've ripped your trousers. which is like the great incident.
I feel like we have the most brotherly arguments. I've never had such brotherly arguments with someone in my life. It, like, actually reminds me of something with my sibling. The arguments we have are fucking so stupid. Like,
we never fight about anything to do with work. When we're working, it's like we're pretty locked in.
Yeah.
But then, I can explain this story if it's like.
Because I think I got angry at you this time. You explain me getting angry at you for the trouser story. I'm gonna say the one from Atlanta.
Oh no.
I'm gonna do it.
That's.
I'm gonna do it. I'm only gonna mention one part of it, but you go first. Okay. Trousers.
So when we were in Australia, we'd like gone out for like a really nice. Actually, we'd gone out for like a lovely meal.
Yeah.
Everything is great. We've gone to this like secret bar. We actually had a mutual friend from school that we went for drinks with, which was like really cool and like a nice like thing where we were like, oh, that's really weird that we have this friend from school who we both know.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know her from school. I knew her from
Drama Club.
Drama Club.
I knew her from school. Didn't do Drama Club.
No.
But that's
predictable, really. Theatre kid, me.
I try to give you pants a little yank, and I just tore your pants.
You did.
I just in a place that was essentially unfixable.
Yeah.
Which
you just fully ripped one of the pockets off the ass. Bear in mind,
like the worst.
Guys, now people who are watching this podcast are going to be people that like me, I imagine. And there are a sect of people. and I fucking know they exist because I've seen their tweets being like, I remember when he wore these trousers in Melbourne. What happened to these trousers?
I've ripped him.
He fucking happened to these trousers.
And it was like...
And I could have gone and got them fixed, but just for out of pure anger, vitriol, I refused.
I just like, I felt so bad. I felt so bad that I don't know if I told you this, I reached out to a close friend of yours when we were back in the UK to go into your house, find the pants, deliver the pants to me so that I could then take them to a pants fixer.
Yeah.
To fix the pants.
Pant fixer.
And I was informed that the pants had just been binned.
They weren't though.
Oh, the pants.
I still have them. They're in storage.
And then anyway, so then following on from the pants theme, when you got the number one album,
yeah,
I tried to
number one album.
To get the number one album.
The other album.
I tried to get all the gang together, and we were gonna buy like a custom pair of trousers and all this stuff, and they were gonna get designed, and it was just like it just didn't happen in time. So kind of a duo pants L.
I found the message. Should we read them out?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So I messaged you. This is I
just remember, like, in my head, I'm so anxious about because I felt so bad, and it was such a dumb thing to do, and I remember I'd like text you, and you were just so angry, and I was like, oh god, what have I done? He's gonna hate me forever.
3 a.m.
Oh, it's 3 a.m.
3 a.m. I go, your food's in the lobby with Josh. What message? That's it.
Because I went to bed without my dinner.
You without your dins, which it was a nice dinner. It was a nice dinner. Do you remember it?
Yeah.
It's like,
we had,
just like fast food. It was good.
Yeah, we went in a train in the sky.
Train in the sky. Train in the sky. You went. No, you said it's not a money thing, but I feel so terrible about your nice trousers.
I just launched straight into it. Food's in the lobby. Hey man, I've been thinking these thoughts for a long time, but I just want to let you know I've always loved you.
And also the fact that you call them nice trousers. No, you said it's not a money thing, but I feel so terrible about your nice trousers, mate. Please let me know the repair costs so that I can cover them or pick out a pair online you like and I'll cover it in full regardless of cost. Silly thing to do on my part and a real dampener on an otherwise wonderful gig day, so I feel bloody terrible. And then I'm just like fuming still. At one point I go, I accept your apology. I know you didn't mean it. I'll leave it there. Also separately, if you've got any phone shots of the gig, let me know. Well, there's a whole...
Wait, did you follow up with just straight back to work?
Well, it's like a big fucking...
Oh yeah, it's big.
There's a lot.
I know you've skipped out. You've skipped out some bits there. Where
yeah,
that was great. That was great.
I don't want to be offered anything financially. I said I'd be doing all my friendships a disservice if I wasn't honest about my anger at the situation. I really deeped it, which is why. But
this is why it was the great trouser incident, because
incident.
I like. It was great, and it was a trouser incident.
And they were nice trousers.
They were nice trousers, and
it's so funny though.
I did rip. But then we woke up the next morning, and then I think we just went for a run.
Immediately was like, but this is what I mean. It's like the arguments we have are never that sincere. They're always very brotherly, which takes me to the gym the other day.
Oh.
Now, this is gonna sound very macho man. I promise it wasn't. The night before, we were just in the hotel bar, all exhausted. One of the crew members, Joseph, turns to me and goes, how many press-ups do you reckon you could do right now? And I was like, I reckon I could do 40. And he went, bet I can do more. And so we both got to the ground in the hotel and did 40 push-ups. I think the idea was we were going to try and go until whoever could win. But we both looked up at each other at 39, and you could just see in the other person's eyes, no more. Let it end. So we get up, and we both go like, okay, we did 40, shake hands, move on, whatever. The next morning, we're going to the gym. And we've already had a moment where I've corrected your form on a pull-up, and then gone to do a pull-up, and done the exact same thing, which is one thing. And then I tell you about the push-up story. And so you go,
I can do it. Like, I do some push-ups. I can do it too. I was full of beans.
and I promise you, I stand by this. I counted your push-ups. And you get to push up what I believe to be some. Now, this is the real talking point, and this is where it becomes really fucking brotherly.
This is the contest.
It was you and me and some random fucking American dude in this room.
I forgot there's
Some
just
random
a man
dude
there.
that has just stood there, and I go, "That's 17," and you pop up out of press-up position and go, "What the fuck do you mean? That's 20?" And I was like. And I remember,
It's so dumb.
Genuinely, my response was the most like brotherly, fucking like pokey response ever. But I look back at it and I was like, why did I say it like that? I was like, hey, look, man, I counted to 17. No need to be so fucking sensitive about it. Which is like the worst thing you could say to someone who's like responded in a way that's like, why have you said that to me?
It was like, for context, because I feel like there is some context.
There is.
And
I'll accept criticism here.
No. It's like, at any other point, I would have just continued going. Would have done our thing.
Yeah.
And then like, wouldn't have even been a thing that we've talked about. But I had several unfortunate events happen to me in my life. It's like lots of little things had kind of like built up.
Culminated in Lou absolutely decking your sunglasses the night before.
Yeah, like I've had a particularly busy period of like my year.
Yeah.
Followed by several big L's of life.
And then you have to spend 3 months with me.
It essentially was just like I've had a bunch of stuff happen, nothing crazy, but just like lots of L's and lots of stuff that like applies a little smidgen of pressure. And usually, and I think we do the kind of the same thing, you talk it out, you go for a run, you let the wave wash over you. And I usually do that. This wave had not washed over me, it just built up and built up. And then you say about the,
I say 17 when you counted 20.
And I just have a little, I'm like, what? Huh? That was 20. It's 20. It's 20. And then there's just this man there.
Yeah.
And like the thing is like we weren't even arguing really. It was just like you had a pop, I had a pop. No, I had a pop at you. You had a pop at me. And then we were just like sat there in silence, just like.
Yeah.
And then like we don't say anything. This man obviously feels the tension in the air.
Awkward and leaves the room.
I don't think. I think he was just done with his workout.
He was probably also.
He leaves the room, and then we immediately just like just talk it through. But like again, it was just.
This is what I mean. I think our connection, therefore, even in its like most difficult moments, it's so brotherly that I think we just have that. That's our dynamic. Which means that this can't be porn.
What can be? You know that guy who did the I've never been to Uvu Javar before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does incest porn now.
Well, this is going to ruin the tour.